Hi, family. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Gold Corner. I know we've been absent a couple of weeks, but we've been very busy. We've been extremely busy with the foundation. Me personally, been with the foundation itself, but busy is always good, right? Busy is always good. It keeps our mind occupied and it helps us to relieve a lot of the daily stresses. My name is Joel Ojeda. For those that don't know me, I'm also known as the Bearded Ref, and I am the creator of the nonprofit organization as well as this YouTube channel called the Gold Corner. And this is a channel that I created in memory of my 2-year-old daughter, Mia, who passed away from neuroblastoma in 2018. And this is a channel that was created to be able to spotlight the heroes, these children that have gone through this horrible monster called cancer, the ones that are currently fighting, the ones that have beat it. And this season, we're actually spotlighting a lot of other organizations and businesses that are helping in the fight against childhood cancer. This is the Gold Corner. Let's do this.
And now it's time for the main event. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. In memory of Mia Ojeda. Dedicated to all the brave little warriors that have fought and the ones that are currently fighting childhood cancer. For the thousands watching around the world, fighting out of the Gold Corner, it's time!
Today, I am very pleased and I feel extremely honored to be joined by, I could say, someone that's like family to me. This is Anthony Terrazas, and a little background. Anthony, I actually met him through Mia's mom. Anthony, being a martial artist like myself and Mia's mom are, they used to train together. And when we actually went to Fort Worth, they still remain in contact. And he went from Houston, where he lives now, and he went to go visit us. And we had the opportunity to spend some time. And he actually got to meet Mia and see her running around and playing around. And I'll ask Anthony to go into the detail too, because Mia actually told them something about some angels, and this is something that's improvised. And so, brother, I hope you don't mind, because that's something, you need to share that story here too. But anyway, a couple of days ago, about 2 weeks ago, I went ahead and started talking about a campaign that we launched that's called the Golden Canine Campaign. And this is an amazing campaign that I'm very excited about. And we teamed up with this amazing business called What-A-Canine. And I'm not going to go much into detail because I want Anthony here to go into that detail himself. So he's going to be speaking to us a little bit about himself, the background of What-A-Canine. And Anthony is the owner and the head trainer of this amazing business that's called What-A-Canine from Houston, Texas. So, Anthony, brother, it's a real honor to have you on my show here. I've always told you, brother. I mean, thank you so much for always being there. You've seen me through my worst, and you've seen everything that I've gone through, and you and your beautiful wife Chelsea have always been there for me. So, Anthony, welcome, and talk to us about the Golden Canine Campaign that we're talking about. So, brother, the floor is yours.
Brother, so the first thing I want to say is thank you so much for having me on. And it's nothing but love. We have nothing but love for you, brother. So I'm going to say that. So again, my name is Anthony Terrazas. I'm the owner of What-A-Canine, and I'm the head trainer. My wife, the CEO of, like always, I'm the owner, but my wife gets all the glory and she calls all the shots. So she's the CEO. She also does a lot of training, and we have people around the neighborhood that helps us with training as well. So we're all very, very excited about this. So back to that Mia store, I would love to talk about that, man. And thank you for giving me the privilege of talking about that. So we came down to Dallas from here to Houston, and I remember that specific day we went to Saltgrass. Remember, that was the first time y'all went to Saltgrass. I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you remember this, but I gave her my little cowboy hat from work, and then I had my first jiu-jitsu tournament, and then I ended up getting second place, and then I dedicated that medal to Mia, and I still remember her having that little medal in her hand, and it's phenomenal, man. But I'll never forget it, and I really want to say Mia made me a better father, so just thank you guys for that. But we were walking, and while we were walking, she kept saying, "Look," she kept looking up, and she kept pointing, and she was like, "Daddy, the angels are around. The angels are around." And then they're like, "They're waving." And then we were like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "They're right here. They're flying." So if you don't believe in God, you have a little baby who's 2 years old who really doesn't understand that concept to an extent, but she's telling you she sees angels, man. I mean, I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. So from the bottom of my heart, just thank you so much for, just thank you for letting us be a part of that, brother. Really, just thank you so much. So before we start tearing up, brother, so again, I'm Anthony Terrazas. I'm the owner of What-A-Canine. Now, Mia had such a pull when it comes to what we're doing and us seeing how people are truly, truly affected by childhood cancer. So, did a lot of praying and talking about it with my wife. I've been dogs for about 12 years now. So at first it was just regular, just training dogs back in 2009 when I joined the military. And it wasn't necessarily training the military dogs in the very beginning. It was, I had a dog and I wanted to teach it regular obedience, right? Or, I had a friend who was leaving out of town and they were like, "Hey, I got my dog, train it." Next thing you know, I became a military canine handler, and my first dog was a narcotic dog, and we ended up getting the first narcotic bust in the Air Force base that we were at, which is Hurlburt. And then my next two dogs were explosive dogs. And then I got out of the military and I worked for an organization here, and I was a lead canine trainer. And with that company, we imprinted dogs on narcotics, explosives, accelerants. We did article searches. We used to do tracking, biting, building searches, target biting, decoying, you name it. We used to train handler courses, trainer courses, and we would train the local law enforcement on, how to utilize their dog correctly and stuff like that. So, back to where we're going with, we did a lot of praying, and I was just like, you know what, this would be something huge to do for, not in the law enforcement aspect or, just to help, people. And during that time in Hurlburt, one of our kennels, what we used to do is we used to help people that had PTSD, and they would come and they'd bring their service dogs and they would train. And that's what really got me interested into, going the emotional support dog, service dog route. So back to what we're doing is the Golden Canine Campaign. So the goal with the Golden Canine Campaign is we want to try to get some grants, or we want to have people getting involved by either submitting the cutest picture of their dog, and when they do that, $1 registration fee per picture. And the winner of that competition is going to be the logo for my company for an entire year. Hopefully, the goal is for us to do this semi-annually or annually. And the winner is going to not only be the logo for the company, the winner is going to end up getting an airfare here to Houston. We're going to get a professional photo shoot done. During that photo shoot, we're going to get catered. We're going to provide the airfare, but the hotel. So there's a lot of good rewards going into this. And also tickets to NASA. Sorry, I had to look down at my notes. So also tickets to NASA. And as far as finances go for the emotional support dogs, our goal is emotional support and service dogs. But hopefully, the longer we do this and the more traction that we build, we can be able to push out more service dogs as far as emotional support dogs. But right now, for the time being, I'd really want to focus on the emotional support dogs for, the children and the families. And brother, like, every dog that we're going to get pushed out is going to be named in honor of a child who has fought childhood cancer and unfortunately has passed away. So the first dog we're going to name is after Mia. It's going to be a girl dog, and her name is going to be Mia.
Well, thank you, brother. That really does mean a lot. And for the people watching, and we do have obviously a lot of parents and family that are going through the same thing that I went through or have gone through it. But we also have a lot of people that have not gone through it. Business owners and people that have been blessed financially. And the parents that have gone through this, we know how beautiful it is, especially at the hospitals when you would get these service dogs to visit the children. I remember Mia being so happy, when the dogs would come in and play and show them tricks. and it's just very therapeutic, to them. It helps them a lot. And I remember when the dogs would leave, Mia would kind of be sad because she wanted the dogs to be there. So I know that when you first reached out to me and we talked about this, and this was just an idea that we had. I thought it was fantastic. And to be honest with you, there isn't another organization that's doing this. And I think that that is awesome, because we're talking about PTSD, and a lot of people that have not gone through something like this think that PTSD is only coming from the military or coming from something like that. But no, PTSD, I have PTSD. I struggle so much right now, and I know a lot of the parents do, and a lot of the children that have gone through treatment or are currently going through treatment also suffer from this PTSD. So to be able to have that emotional support dog to be with them and to help them, it's not only helpful for the child but for the family themselves as well. For them to be able to have this opportunity to have their own emotional support dog, and maybe even, like you said, eventually in the future, the service dog, the full service dogs, that would be so amazing. And we know that this monster is claiming our children, and that's so unfortunate. But if the child is fighting right now and he has that emotional, or he or she has that emotional support dog, we always pray for healing, and we want for God to heal our children. But if this child ends up passing, then the family is going to need that emotional support dog as well.
Exactly.
And we've seen it. I personally have seen it. There's a lot of families that have still seen it. I actually have a friend who, one of the things for Make-A-Wish for her daughter was to have an emotional support dog, and she had it. And unfortunately, this little girl passed away, and her mom, who I'm very good friends with, still, had this dog until not too long ago. But that to her was a reminder of her daughter. It was just to have that dog and to be able to hug that dog, knowing that when her daughter was alive, she was the one holding and hugging this dog. So we know how important that is. So I know that when I did the video with Chelsea, with the CEO, we kind of touched a little bit on it, but we did not go into details about like we're doing now. So Anthony, can you talk to me a little bit about, we did mention grants, and we're looking for grants, we're looking for donors, for sponsors, but how much is it exactly that we would need per dog to be able to bless a child?
Yeah, absolutely. So the very first thing that I want to say is we found a reputable breeder called the Blair Farms Champions dog down in Dallas. And what they breed is purebred English cream golden retrievers. Now, they have a fantastic history and reputation when it comes to the dog's temperaments, intelligence. So, long time to find them, but we finally did. With that being said, the dogs that they sell is $3,500, right? By the time we get the dog is 8 weeks old, right? So in order to do this emotional support dogs, the dogs have to be a certain age as far as maturity, but the goal is for them to have really good obedience, advanced obedience. So whenever they go somewhere, and we have a certificate showing, hey, look, this person's been trained by What-A-Canine, or this dog's been trained by What-A-Canine. That usually takes about from 8 weeks to actual really, really, really good training. It's about 6 months. So we can be able to push out a dog between possibly 7, 8 months. So equipment we get, the vet bills, because the dog's got to get its shots, the dog's got to get everything that it's got to get. It's about 25 to 30,000 in a matter of 6 months, and that's including the $3,500 that it takes to buy the dog. So essentially, with the dog, the vet bills, the food, the training for about 6-7 month period, that's the amount we're looking at.
Okay, and that includes, like you said, the training itself, the vet bills, and all of that. And then just to kind of add to that, and this is also going to be doing something. So once we actually get that, I know we're going to be doing a YouTube channel also as well, to where you can track the progress of the dog and how the dog is doing, and so people can see the training that they have to go through. I know we had little Winston when we did the initial video, but yeah, you're planning on doing a YouTube video as well, our YouTube channel, correct?
Absolutely. So the YouTube channel is going to include my wife, because my wife loves puppies. So she's going to be the one that does the temperament testing. She's going to be the one that picks up the dog. So it's gonna go, she's gonna have her little video camera, whatever she uses. She's like, now we're gonna go get Mia, to us picking up Mia, probably some highlights of the trip back. And it's going to be, hey, day one. And not only is it going to help with the progress of the dog, but it's going to help a lot of people to understand how to properly puppy train, because a lot of people don't know how to do that, how to properly potty train a puppy, and so on and so forth. So absolutely, the goal is for us to get a YouTube channel and get the overall progress for the dog. So yes, yes.
And that
yes,
would be
yes.
awesome, because like you were mentioning, people get to see how to kind of properly train and what these puppies are going through. And your 12 years of experience, to that people are actually being able to see this. So we were talking about anywhere from 25 to 30,000. I know once you actually start getting into service dogs or something a little more in depth, that actually obviously is a little bit higher in price, correct?
It is. And the reason behind that is there's a lot more requirements when it comes to service dogs. As a matter of fact, when it comes to years training, so Winston, he's going to be mobility support dog, object retrieval dog, and he's going to be a diabetic response dog, right? So that takes a lot more training. So that fee is going to be a lot more, strenuous when it comes to the training. So if that's what you're asking, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And see, we were for all our viewers out there, we're looking again, we're looking at about anywhere from 25 to 30,000 per dog. So I mean, we wanted to do this semi-annually. And this is something that we want to continue to grow, for the Golden Canine Campaign to grow. So I mean, if we can get enough to where we can get 2, 3, 4, even 5 dogs at a time, all depending on the budget that we do have. I think that would be awesome. And I know, Anthony, you have some other people, like you mentioned, right, that help you with the training. So having, more than 3 or 4 dogs would not be an issue, correct?
No, and the fantastic thing about dog training is everybody wants to learn how to train dogs, right?
Yeah.
So we have neighborhood kids that are like, I want to learn how to train dogs. We're like, come on over, let me teach you a couple things, right? So there's always, and it helps with socialization, it helps with introducing the dog to new people, right? Now, another thing that I really want to get established on this is, my goal is not only to provide this dog, but hopefully be able to send, whoever the recipient of the dog, dog food, a whole bunch of other equipment. So not only are they just going to get this dog and be like, okay, but they get the dog, they get possibly a set of instructions, as far as how to do certain commands, or, hey, this is the food we recommend, and here's the food you got, here's some dog bowls, here's some treats, here's some toys, just to get the overall experience a lot better, as far as, hey, here's just a dog. So the money that we raise, hopefully through donations, people entering the competition, or grants, is a lot more stuff that it's going to go towards.
Okay, so now, Anthony, how can people get a hold of you? I know that, as far as my website, and that's just for all our followers, we're teaming up with What-A-Canine, but What-A-Canine is actually the ones that are doing everything. They actually are the ones that are doing the entire training. So Anthony, how can people reach out to you? What are the phone numbers, a website, and for people to donate and to be able to get a little bit more information of the Golden Canine Campaign?
So the first thing is our website. Our website is www.whatacanine.com. Once you go on that website, there's a tab that's going to be on your right, and it's called the Golden Canine Campaign. Once you click on that tab, you're going to have multiple options. Number one, you're going to see our mission statement. You're going to see pretty much everything that Golden Canine Campaign is aimed for. And then you keep scrolling down. It tells you if you want to be a member as far as a competitor and upload a picture of your dog. There's a button for you to do that with the registration. If you want to be a donor, if you will, or a sponsor, there's also a button for that. And then also, if you just are interested in learning more, then you can always shoot us an email and contact us, and it goes right to us. And our phone number, call us anytime. It's 832-364-4929.
Okay, awesome. And we also want to let you know that since we are teaming up together and we are a nonprofit organization, your donations are going to be tax deductible. So we do have our EIN number that you can have. That way, when you do your taxes, whatever donation you want to give, it'll be tax deductible for you. You could use it as a tax write-off. So please make sure that you do check out whatacanine.com. It's something that I'm very excited about. Excuse me. Something that it's cool, because again, we're doing something that not a lot of people, or at least that I've heard of, that no one's actually doing out there. So I think this is so awesome. So Anthony, before we leave, do you have any words for us? Anything else you want to say before we finish?
No, just, I really hope you all participate in this competition. And how cool to be not only just to help children and families that are going through this, but to potentially have your dog be a logo of a company. That might be pretty cool too, right? That might be a check mark of a bucket list possibly. So any questions that you have, please contact us. We try to be an open book. And if we don't know the answer as far as what you're asking, we'll definitely find out for you and we'll get right back to you.
Correct. Now, Anthony, I actually left out another thing that we didn't speak about. So this is to help, the kids that have been affected by childhood cancer and their families, but then also the children with autism.
Yes, as far as
Yes.
the autism spectrum disorder, yes.
Yeah. So it's to be able to help both of those children, the ones with, excuse me, autism, and the ones that have been affected by childhood cancer. So here it is, guys. I'm going to be leaving all the links at the description of this video so you can get a hold of Anthony, you can get a hold of Chelsea. If you have any other questions, you can ask me as well. I am just going to direct you right back to them. So I would say just talk to them, directly. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, we wanted to go ahead and spotlight on this season, the organizations and the companies and the businesses that are doing things for children as well. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a short video, but it's very productive. And please, please, please help us spread the word. If you can donate, that's awesome. If you would want your dog to be the official face and logo for What-A-Canine for an entire calendar year, you can go ahead and get all that information. If God has blessed you financially and you want to be a blessing to other people, please, please, please help us out, because this is going for a good cause. So thank you so much for tuning in. And like I always say, please remember to live each day to its fullest, because tomorrow is not promised. And just hold on a little while longer, because we're almost home. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.